Hey guys, it's your favorite auntie, and I'm back with a video to talk about Ray J's trauma that was recently revealed on Club Shay Shay. Um, Everything in this video is alleged, it is in my opinion, and it's for entertainment purposes only. So we're going to get straight into it. I'm going to play the audio in which Ray J recalled what happened to him when he was 14 years old, and then we're just going to have a brief conversation about this. We're going to just not scoop this under the rug. We're going to really address this and I think it's important that we acknowledge what he went through.
You went after some older women, bro.
He's good.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm looking at, I'm like,
listen. Shay,
is it true, kid? If I go out of name, could you?
Shay,
Yeah.
you have a fucking book. You've
My
been
team
asking
good,
for
man. The team good,
Yo.
man. Was it the allure of an older woman? It was the fact that somebody was like 15, 20, 30 years older than you. What was your attraction? Was it the name? Was it the allure? What was it?
You know, with an older woman back in the day when I was like 15, 14, I had a girl, she was like 34. I was like 14. How long is that? 14, 20.
That's 19, 20 years.
20 years older. What the older woman made me realize was that I was dirty. And I needed to be cleaned. I need to be cleaned.
Yeah.
I need to be cleansed. I was dirty, right? Literally. Dirty minded, dirty in the field, and bodily dirty. So my little 30-year-old, like she was, I think 34. I'm gonna say D. You know what I'm talking about. So I would go over to her house. She had all white. And what happened was she told me to take a shower one day before I got in her bed. So I took a shower. I just rubbed myself. I thought I did. I mean, everywhere. Shit. I get out the shower and I take the white towel and I dry myself off. And the towel, it's still dirty.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably bathed myself drying off better than I did in the shower, right? Towel dirty than a motherfucker. So she started tripping. That ain't how I go. So she put me in the tub in roses and bathed me every night until I got in the bed. And the tub was, it was unsittable. Nobody could sit in there after that. It was just a pool with the ring around it. It was really dirty.
Yeah.
So they really taught me how to be clean. And that's why I love an older woman, because they really just, they like bathed me. They cleansed me of all dirt and all sin back in the day. And I'll never forget them.
That was the most cringing clip of this podcast, and I didn't listen to the entire podcast. What actually brought my attention to this piece was Ernest Owens, who posted on X talking about how Shannon sat there and listened to Ray J talk about being violated by a older woman at the age of 14 and finding it comical, because that's just how men do, that's the prize. It's like, oh yeah, you got your score on with an older woman, good job. This is so funny, because you have to ask yourself, if there was a woman on the other end of that interview and she talked about at 14 being bathed by a 34-year-old man, would Shannon have found that funny? And so because of that, Ernest said that he is not going to support Club Shay Shay or listen to anything else that he has on his podcast. And as you can see, there was someone else who had posted under Club Shay Shay photo on Instagram talking about how there's a special victims unit for crimes just like this. And I'm glad this was actually brought to the forefront, because there's too many situations like this happening across America, across the world, with young boys at this age. And we don't need to sit back and just not speak up about it, because we're quick to speak up about it when it's a female, but we have to acknowledge it when it's a young man. And maybe Ray J doesn't know that that's SA. We can't see it here on YouTube, so we have to use the term SA, but it's actual assault, basically. And I have to say it like that for YouTube purposes. And I'm going to say this. I think that Shannon's team was really asking him about his relationship with Whitney Houston. I'm just gonna just call it on out there and speak about the elephant in the room. I think that's what that question was really directed towards. They wanted to know what was it about his attraction to older women as it pertains to Whitney Houston, because that's the person that he's known for being in the public eye with. That's a much older woman. Whitney Houston is 18 years older than Ray J. And I don't know if this story that he told is actually in regards to Whitney Houston, but the math would make sense because when he was 14 or 15 years old, she would have been about 32, 33 years old. And if you go and you Google when was the time that Brandy and Whitney Houston met? And they met in 1994, which would have put Ray J about 14 years old. Again, this is all just my opinion. I'm just listening, trying to gather the facts. I don't know for certain if the story that he told was specifically about his relationship with Whitney Houston, but he was calling it someone else just to throw everybody off. But that is my theory that possibly she could have been the woman that was bathing him. Now, she would have been married to Bobby Brown around this time. So, but that doesn't mean anything. Who knows? Because he would have potentially met her around 14, 15 years old. But I don't know that. But he did mention that it was older women. So it could have been more than one woman that decided to be inappropriate and groom this child. And I think that's pretty sick. And I hope that more conversations like this are happening, and so that men can know that that's straight up violation, because if it's a woman, it's easily recognized that that stuff is against the law, but it's not always recognized when it's a guy. I know Tyler Perry have talked about an older woman taking advantage of him when he was a child. Who else have we had come out talking about that? It was someone else that was on the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of it now. That spoke about being taken advantage of. Oh, Charlemagne the God also spoke about being taken advantage of, and he actually recognized that he was taken advantage of by an older woman. And so, yeah, I think this whole conversation, I think Ray J's trying to make light of it at the end, where he was just like, oh, yeah, they taught me how to be clean and they taught me how to bathe. But it was pretty cringing and it was pretty sick. And I'm glad it was actually, it was discussed in a way that it needed to be discussed. And I wanted to make sure I came on this channel and discussed it, because if it was a female, like I said, we would be all hollering about that's horrible, that's disgusting. So we got to keep that same energy, even though it's a male involved. I also feel like this, though. When it comes to Ernest's statement about he'll never watch Club Shay Shay again, I do want to say this before we're quick to say let's just cancel Shannon because he was sitting there laughing. I do think this is a teachable moment. I think that this is the time where we call him out and we say, Shannon, that ish wasn't funny. That was disgusting. You should have followed up on that. You should have said, so bruh, you were taken advantage of by an older woman. You do realize that you were groomed. You do realize that that's considered, a crime. And he should have acknowledged that. I think that's a teachable moment. Men don't realize that. They just think that's a badge of honor. So before we're ready to say, yes, let's cancel Shannon. No, let's turn this into a teachable moment and keep doing what we're doing right now by addressing the situation publicly. You guys let me know what you think down in the comments. That is all for this video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you are interested in the content that I put out. Talk to you guys on the next one.